Amianita, Hoto Shunammite, Padam Pugridi Punchigina, se, Monjani Pashi Congress Kanita press conference Tagolese, or press conference se, member of Lok Sabha, Sashi Tharoor, Tagolese, Unamian Jani Pashi, Taiwi, Amianita, the Laga details, Saisawa.
I've been having a lot of interactive sessions with young people in both Kohima and Dimapur. And it's clear they're seriously concerned about their future, and in particular about unemployment and corruption, which is undermining their dreams. The slogan, Congress Ase, Upay Ase, means there is hope and a way forward for the Congress, for Nagaland if the Congress is there. The BJP had asked the Congress party to debate on the manifesto, and we had accepted the challenge, demanding that the BJP explain its stand on three issues: the solution to the Nagaland political issue, where the BJP had said it was going to be an election for solution in 2018, the protection of Article 371A, which falls afoul of the BJP's entire logic of one nation, one culture, one language, one religion, one leader, which is what they're propagating throughout the Hindi belt in northern India. But they've got a politics of saying one thing in the Hindi belt and something else in the northeast. And it's time we call them out for this and demanded to know what is their real stand. And on the third point, of course, why won't they condemn and take action against those Sant Parivar organizations that have been attacking Christian churches, particularly since Christmas, and the statement of the Janjati Dharma Sanskriti Suraksha Manch from Guwahati calling for the delisting of all Christian tribals from Adivasi benefits. What is the BJP's real stand on this, and why won't they denounce it? Now, with the clean election movement of the Nagaland Baptist Church Council asking candidates to debate, our invitation should have been welcomed by the BJP. But after the president of the Nagaland Pradesh Congress Committee, whom I met this morning again, Mr. K. Tharoor, publicly announced at the Congress President's rally that he was ready for a debate, the BJP has sent a text message to a well-known Nagaland daily that they have no intention of debating. Why are they frightened of a debate? Why are candidates running from common platform events? If they've been in power for 20 long years, they need to answer the people's questions. Democracy is about accountability. It's not only about casting votes every 5 years, it's about what happens between those elections. And I must say that the people of Nagaland deserve better, they deserve answers. I think I'll stop there for a minute. I think it's extremely important that I take your questions, and since we do have a flight to catch, I don't want to take up more time at the podium. The floor is yours, and Captain Zimami will conduct the press conference by inviting those who raise their hands to us.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
This might be out of the context of what sir has said, but it has been confirmed that chief agent of our NPCC president, Mr. K. Thire's chief agent has resigned from the party along with few others and has joined his opposing party, the BJP. So, do you feel that this will in some way affect his electioneering process?
I was not aware of this, Mr. Manika. Are you aware that our chief agent has apparently resigned? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
That is true.
we are discussing with, like-minded secular parties to have an alternative government, because we are very sure it will be a fractured mandate this time. The way they are promising the NDPP and BJP that they will get 40, 50, it will be in the air only. We are very sure of that.
So, I think it's very clear that whatever individuals may choose to do for themselves, that the party stands for certain principles and values which are consistent throughout India. I think the one good thing you can say about the Congress is what we say in Nagaland, we also say in Delhi, we also say in Kerala. And as far as we are concerned, our message, our vision is one and it's consistent. Unfortunately, we have a ruling party that speaks one language in one place and another language somewhere else. And that's the issue that we want to highlight to all of you. What does the BJP really stand for in Nagaland? Can they give the people of Nagaland the assurances that the people of Nagaland clamour for and deserve? Yes, on the question of the attacks, I'm planning to raise that in Parliament myself, because I think it's important that our Christians have a good sense of what exactly is going on in our politics, that a small minority, it's only 2.6% of the population of India, should not be feeling beleaguered, threatened and intimidated by these louts with the impunity that comes from the silence of the government condoning their actions.
The BJP has made it clear that the only ally in the state will be NDPP and no other party. But lately we've seen that, LJP and the RPI have been, reminding people that we are their ally at the center. So won't that create a rift or a tension in the state?
It really looks as if these smaller parties have become proxy candidates for each other. It looks like, in addition to talking about being allies, there is really a competition between the two to see who gets more seats. Because very clearly, if Mr. Rio's party gets more seats, they will aim for the chief ministership, and the BJP wants the other thing. I think the Naga people should see through these games and understand that these proxy parties are actually serving the interests of some rather venal politicians. And they should ignore and reject all of them and turn to the Congress, where we actually have people who are standing, who have a track record of being activists in Nagaland society, who have served the people here, and who have a vision to try and do something different for the people. So, I mean, frankly, just as you've seen for the last 5 years, an assembly without an opposition, these are fake contests. These are fake contests between proxies of the same people, of the same government that is now leaving office in disgrace.
Naga solution has been a huge major factor in Nagaland since the inception of our government, our statehood. So, Congress has been ruling Nagaland, had ruled Nagaland for decades, but then, lost its power after SDJMA came down. So, this time, if the Congress ever comes to power, in case in Nagaland, what will be the approach, or how will be the approach of Congress towards Naga solutions, sir?
Well, don't forget that in those early days, there was a very live insurgency going on, and it took time to lay the foundations for a durable peace, with talks with the various Naga factions, and all that did make effective progress by the time of the 1990s. But today what we're seeing is a situation where there is kind of a stalemate, where the government announced a Naga Accord in 2015. A few months later, they went back and said framework agreement. Then in 2019, they said in 3 months they'll have an agreement. I don't know what calendar this government is using, but 3 months have gone by multiple times thereafter. If Congress comes to power, we will not make any unrealistic pledges. We'll talk to all those concerned, identify the elements of a political solution, put it forward to the people, and only then will we say we've done a deal. Because we have the experience. Remember that the Congress party was involved in the Punjab Accord, in the Assam Accord, in the Sri Lankan Peace Accord. We know how to negotiate peace, and we would certainly want to do it in a constructive way and not pull the wool over anyone's eyes, as this government has been doing. The important thing, however, is that there must be a political solution, because if that's what is preventing investment in the state, then for the young people of Nagaland, it becomes all the more indispensable that there should be a political solution, so that investment will come, job opportunities will increase, there'll be greater possibilities for progress. Right now, when I speak to young people, and I had a lot of interactive sessions in both Kohima and Dimapur with young people, what I'm getting from them is a great deal of concern about employment and a great deal of concern about corruption. These things are very, very important to deal with.
So then, last question. What are your thoughts on the party's list of candidates, and how optimistic are you with your party?
Well, look, I think, the Congress is only contesting 23 seats out of 60. So by itself, the Congress cannot form a government. But it's very clear we're likely to go for a coalition after this election, because many parties are in the fray, and there are some like-minded parties who might well come along with us. There may be others who are not. As far as we're concerned, what is important is we must have a strong government. I think many people realize that in terms of the Lok Sabha next year, that Congress is very much the leading contender. So that again will be useful in terms of winning our candidates' votes here. Secondly, as far as a coalition government is concerned, a strong Congress at the core of it will make a big difference in Nagaland. I do want to say one more thing. It's been truly shocking that Nagaland had no opposition for 5 years. You've been the only assembly in the whole country where the entire assembly was on one side. The Legislative Assembly committees meant nothing because they couldn't disagree on anything. They couldn't divide any of the issues and responsibilities. Parliament became a democracy-free zone. That's not good for Nagaland. So even those who believe that Congress may not form the government, they should still vote for Congress to have a strong opposition voice, if they are right. If Congress does form a coalition, great. But if not, at least have strong voices so that your voice can be heard, and you don't have one party or one group of people riding roughshod over the interests of the Naga people.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you
It was a nice meeting, sir. To Amianita press conference at Diki Paishe, idu press conference to BJP gan ki karne debate thaiguli laga open debate thaiguli la opor watan polai se la opore thagise idu press conference se man member of Lok Sabha Shashi Tharoor taiwa khota ko lagai mian dikhi paise aro exclusively Shashi Tharoor ki khota ko homoy mian taiwa janai dise ki Congress kan in case power issue guli do tan laga kinga approach kan thaigo naga solution la pore do an ami ange janai dise aro itukla noina tai mon Nagaland government kan opposition athaka do itu laga opore tai dangerous kan argona itula opore tai khushi na pagan itu an ami ange janai dise idani mane moise muamala with camera person Zuchan reporting from Hotel Shunammite Padampukri.